Hey, how are we doing? So, I get a question pretty much almost every day, and that's about kit, especially through the winter months. So kit as in, what do you wear when the weather's like this? So I've been answering those individually, but I just thought, you know what, I'll just do a video and talk through my kit. Now, what's really important to talk about with any kit is that it's hugely personal to me, as in, it's all about the comfort, all the materials, what works for the individual. So this all works for me. So it's just a guidance. Now, I'm very much of the opinion that there is loads of good kit out there from loads of different makes. Now, I try and pick and choose the makes that fit and work best for me. I'm very, very fortunate that I get all this kit given to me. So I'm very privileged, obviously, in that. What I find with kit is, and especially the type of kit for water sports kit, there is a premium paid that you don't necessarily get better kit for that premium, depending on the name. But as a majority rule, the more money you spend, the longer that kit will last. Now for me, I have to have kit that can be used every single day. So that is, it gets wet, it dries, and to be honest, I'm not the best. I'm pretty good, but I'm not the best at the drying and the sorting out. So often it just gets left in the sunshine and then it's just used the next day or dried in the van. So it's not really cared for. So I need kit that can absolutely stand the test of time. So let's talk kit. Let's go from, it's winter time, but the sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Now when you're paddling, even in the winter, even though the sun is shining, you've got to think about what's the worst that can happen. So for me, I like comfy clothing. So of course, this time of year, I'm going to be wearing thermals. Even on a sunny day, these are going to be underneath a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. Now, these type of thermals are the type that can get wet. They still keep you dry. It's not comfortable, but they can still keep you warm, even though they're wet and the water's 10 degrees. So they would go underneath a pair of shorts that are quick drying. So I use Showers Pass stuff for this, which is cycling stuff. So it's hard wearing, it wicks away the water, and within a breeze or so, it's dry on you. The t-shirts, so Shorty supplies all my technical t-shirts, bamboo t-shirts. They don't hold the water against you, they don't hold the cold against you like a cotton t-shirt would. So that's why I wear those. So that's kind of what I wear with then a jacket. And you would have seen that I wear Gore-Tex jackets, Share Pass Gore-Tex jackets. I think they're awesome in that if you were to get wet, it doesn't hold any water at all, but it can breathe and it can move and you don't sweat. Most of my paddles, a minimum paddle would be half an hour, max would be 7-8 hours. So you need stuff that you're not going to boil in. You need stuff that you're not going to lose too much of your own moisture in your activity. So that type of stuff works really well for those sunny winter days where you're not really more than 10 minutes away being able to just get off the water and get warm. And that's a really crucial thing to remember. If I'm paddling and I know it's going to take me 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get in to where I can get warm, then that changes. And I wouldn't wear these things, but I change up. So what does changing up mean? Well, my Yak half and half suit, so these are technical trousers, fully waterproof trousers. Sometimes I just wear the waterproof trousers because I know it's a sloppy day. My bottom half, regardless, is going to get wet and the spray is going to be all over it. But I might wear the Gore-Tex jacket with them because that keeps my mobility and the breathing on top. What I will often have if the weather is, and there are two types of weather. There's the weather coming up, so what the sea condition is doing. You know, I don't fall in, but just before Christmas, I got knocked off my board by a seal. So you can't always wear, because you just think, well, I'm not going to fall in. Something might happen, the unexpected, always expect the unexpected, you fall in. So you've got to prepare for that. So often I'll wear, when it's a little bit cooler, so the winds are picking up, I'll have that in my dry sack ready to put on. So that's like an extra layer of armour, if you like. And that's predominantly, this time of year, what I would wear. If what's happening above the water, so we're talking lots of rain, we're talking a lot of precipitation coming down, so you're going to get wet from above as well as below, then I would move on to potentially the dry suit. And that's just basically the full suit of this half and half. A little bit heavier, a little bit harder on the shoulders. So that's why, you know, you're not going to wear that for a 10-minute blast. But if I'm out for hours and hours and I know that I need to stay toasty, I need to stay on top of how I'm feeling and my warmth, then a dry suit obviously is a way to go. For me, I like the neoprene tops rather than the rubber tops. It just feels more comfortable for me. But as I say, this is one step up from the half and half suit. And then you go and make extreme. So I've got a Hammond dry suit here. So this is proper big boy stuff. A Hammond dry suit. If I'm doing a downwinder where I know I'm gonna get wet, I'm gonna be falling off, but I'm out there for another 6 hours afterwards, that's what I'm gonna wear, because I know I'm gonna be bone dry underneath. It's heavy and it's hard work, but that is secondary to the fact that self-preservation is so important. So the Hammond dry suit really is at kind of the top of the tree. And if you really want a quality dry suit for that type, then go for that. For your day-to-day paddling in a dry suit, then the Yak one is far suited because it's kind of half the weight and it's a lot easier on the shoulders. And then of course this time of year I spend a lot of time in the water, falling off surfing, so that's where the wetsuit comes in. And for me, wetsuits, I mean, I've worn wetsuits all my life, so I'm very particular on wetsuits. And it's all down to preference of fit for you. The Decane ones really fit me well, so that works for me. And I often wear the half suits underneath as well, especially through the summer. And boots, you know, I don't wear, excuse me, I don't wear boots very often. So I wear the half boots if I'm gonna wear them, just because I can get a better feel, my feet on the board. Excuse me. So, as you can tell, I've had a bit of a cough this week. Hasn't meant I haven't been on the board every day this week because of that, but it's almost gone. And then for clothing, a buoyancy is really important. So summer months, I could wear that one because I don't want a buoyancy over the top. It's too warm. This time of year, I would wear full proper buoyancy. And just to kind of show you, you know, this is the Yak all singing, all dancing buoyancy. Lots of pockets. So if I'm exploring, I've got my dry suit on. I know I'm out for a couple of hours, so I'm doing some hard paddling, but I'm also stopping and having some looks around. You know, that's the one I want because I want my phone in there. I've got my whistle, I've got my radio can attach to it. That was all brilliant. If I still want to wear full buoyancy, which I will always this time of year, because cold water shock is a very real danger, and you know, half an hour hard paddling, you're sweating, you suddenly fall into water, it's cold water, that shock is going to hit. You want a buoyancy that's going to keep you afloat, keep that head out without any panic, and you can just acclimatise and then get right to it. And a full buoyancy will do that, whereas I see a little one through the winter months, it's not going to. And then I've bought a range of buoyancies here because often, if I'm going out paddling and it's an hour training session, I'll wear, so this is a Yak, one of their entry-level buoyancies. That's half the weight of that. So, you know, I often wear the entry-level buoyancies because they're just so light. And it doesn't have to, you know, I wear Yak, but the Baltic entry-level one is perfect in that it's got no sides at all. So again, it fits different people, different shapes, and that's so important to know and have. All right, so this time of year as well, we also need the accessories. So the hats. If it's raining this time of year, it's a padded hat with a rim, keeps the rain from running down your face, that type of hat. There's a Shorties waterproof hat. Beanies, that's a Shower Pass waterproof beanie. I tell you what, that saved my bacon so many times when it's been raining because the water just runs off it and you're still toasty. I'm often paddling and still paddling at night, so any high-vis stuff is really important. The Shower Pass gloves that I've got here, not only are waterproof, and I don't like wearing neoprene gloves, so these sort of gloves are much more comfortable, and they're waterproof. So, I mean, and they're not ridiculous money. And you've got waterproof socks as well. You know, especially if I'm night paddling, I'll wear my boots with waterproof socks underneath, with my dry suit or half suit. Keeps my toes super warm. As much high vis as you can, or reflective as you can. I often, my bags, my yak bags, I put covers on because they're reflective and super visible. So that's all really important. And then of course, when you get off the water, the change robe is so important. You know, the amount of times I've been too cold to change, and you just get this on, gets you warmer straight away. You can get your kit back in your car, sorted out, and dry. You know, in Mr. Baxter, I've got plenty of room to wear a big old change robe like this. And change robe, this is their new colour with the bronze copper inlay. Oh, it's so super warm. So that's it. That's my kit this type of year. So I would look to see what the conditions are like of the water. I would look to see what the conditions are like in the sky, the weather. I would also see what I'm doing as for my paddle, and I would plan through those three elements to know what I'm wearing. And I would take with me the extra elements to make sure there are no surprises, and I can put extra layers on, extra kit on, to make sure I get home safely. Now all of this means that I have no problem every single day thinking, right, I'm going for a paddle. There's nothing to stop me because I've got it all covered with the kit that I can put on to be on the water safely. Hope that helps. Send me any questions about any of it. God bless. See you soon.